Hey guys, James here today and welcome back to another house building video. This one is just another one of those builds where I was like, you know what? Let's do something a little bit different. And the way I decided to do this and where I got the sort of idea was I went back to, I can't remember which build it was. I think it might have been either the tiny lake house build I did or I don't know. It was one of those builds. And then one of the top comments was, it was in all caps, so I will spare you the yelling of it, but it was something along the lines of, hey, build a house on top of a mountain with a swimming pool. And I did actually respond to that comment. Like I typed a response and I was like, how? Question mark. Which I don't know why I did, because I know how to do it. And I'm doing it right now. It is by using a bunch of rocks and essentially making our own mountain. Now, this is not a huge house because, first of all, I didn't know how well this would actually work. And making a mountain that's big enough to have a large house on it would take a lot of time. So I was like, okay, let's try it out. You know, people love the tiny house builds. People love kind of weird ideas, doing something a little bit different. So let's put those two together. Let's get a tiny house on top of a mountain with a swimming pool. Boom, idea birthed. I gave birth to this idea earlier today. I don't know why I'm talking about it like that, but yeah, so I actually tested this out before recording because I was like, okay, well, let's see if this works. And I had to play around. I was like, you know what? I think this is actually going to work. And spoiler alert, it kind of does. I'm definitely inclined to try building a larger house later on. So I actually used the rocks that I'm using. The ones I'm using now are the actual, landscaping rocks that you can get in the build mode catalog. The one that the pool and the house are like sitting on are actually tables. They're actually items. You can see it's a coffee table. The other one's like an end table. But they work so perfectly. Sort of lining up with the height of walls and all of that. And I use them in the bridge house build as well, which is one that was like, it had two of those sort of coffee tables, a house is balanced on top, there's a pool underneath, and it works really well to build a house out of, or on top of, or build a mountain out of. And you know what? I was just like, this looks really cool. It's like, this is a fun idea. So thank you to that person that yelled in all caps for me to do this. And I don't know how long ago it was. It was probably a while ago. But for some reason, only today, I was like, you know what? That's actually possible. It is possible. And it'll just take a little bit of time. But yeah, you can see it's sort of developing here. So we got like a little bit of a cliff face going down the back, which I think it looks nice. I mean, it kind of looks like some sort of plateau type thing where it's like big, tall cliffs. And I will tell you one thing. This is not a house you want to live in if you got to go onto the street all of the time or go to work all the time, because it takes a while to get down the bottom, because it's like the house is on the third floor, so you have to be walking down all the stairs and all that. Now these are really cool. So this is like actually a room divider that has like all of these chopped up logs from birch tree stumps, and it's like, you know what, those are going to work so well as like supports, like as columns that are sort of go underneath, kind of like they've been shoved in there just to support like the structure, right? I was like, that's such a cool idea. Though I did notice, and I don't know if it was just me or the way I did it, but when I replaced this lot somewhere else, all their heights of those reset, and I was like, oh, that's sad. So hopefully it doesn't. I don't know if I did it wrong, because to be honest, I don't download and place houses from the gallery often, but I did notice that, and I was a bit upset by that. But in any case, you can see what it looks like here. You get a good idea. Right, I just want to go see where I got that comment from. I'm just trying to find it. So on the swimming pool level, I'm making sure to have enough space to have like a balcony and all that, because I want to, because it's a tiny house build at the end of the day. The actual house is 5x4 in size, so it is a tiny house. Obviously you only design for one sim. Everything is functional, has everything you need, but I thought, you know what, let's get some outdoor living space as well, so we could maybe throw a party, entertain some guests out here. That would be quite nice, wouldn't it? Just to get a little bit of an additional space added on, just so you're not crammed in the tiny house. Because to be fair, it's a pretty big structure that we have going on here. Having a bit more than just a 5x4 is nice. It's nice to have that. Also, I would have, and this was a tweet I got, because I tweeted out a picture of this a little bit earlier on, and someone's like, can you like I don't know, I think I said something along the lines, I hope I'm not, this isn't wishful thinking, but is there any room inside of like the rock to have like a house, right? So that's interesting. You can see that the walls on the left there actually go inside the rock, and you can actually build there. The problem is the game doesn't remove the rock, so you can't see. There is kind of a way to do it. If you place... If I had placed the... I think. If I place the rock in a basement, but scale it up, so it still sticks out of the ground. If you're two... I think it's if you're 2 levels above an item. So if you... Let's use this house as an example. On the ground floor, if we had a room and we had a chair in that room, if we build up to level 3... Once we're on level 3, that chair no longer renders, I'm fairly sure. So, I don't know if I'm explaining this very well. But if we place a rock in the basement and went up 2 floors, it should disappear and no longer like appear on screen unless you go down a floor. So, in a way, it might be possible to be able to have a house within the rock. But the only other way I could think of doing it is using the landscaping rocks and using that to build the cliff face. So moving them up and all over the place and spending hours trying to position them properly. Then the only problem with that is they'll be in your way all of the time. Like it would be like playing with walls up 100% of the time. You'd have to be looking down at a high angle. So I don't know how well it would work. It's a suggestion that I liked, and it would be awesome if it worked. And if I do revisit this idea of building a house on a mountain using all these rocks, like doing a bigger house, that would be definitely something I would try for sure. Because I think it's a good idea. It'd just be, I just don't know how well it would work. So I found the comment. It says, James, can you build a mountain and build a house on top of it with pools? Please, James, please. Had 200 thumbs up, and it was in all caps with loads of exclamation marks, loads of question marks. I love the comment. It's just so like, please do it. It was like 5 months ago, it says. So I did it, and please, if you're out there, I don't know how to say your name, and I really don't want to say it wrong. The Hoang Nguyen. I don't know if I said that right. If you're watching, please post in the comments, because I know it's you, because you'll have the same avatar and picture and all that, and username. So if you're there and you're watching, please speak up, because this happened because of you. Because I just randomly went back to the video. I was like, you know what, let me check. I don't know. There's loads of replies to this. I don't know. I assume someone probably came up with the same idea that I had here, right? Just using rocks. Like, I mean, that's the obvious solution. Yeah, build cliff wall with rocks, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, a lot of people suggest that. I mean, I guess it's fairly obvious. But yeah, I was like, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's try it. So here is the little house. I wasn't sure. So the whole house is kind of based on this rickety wooden structure built on top of rocks. Like someone's just come along, plonked down a few platforms, chucked in some stairs, and called it a day. You know, like they've just, it's kind of, I wanted to have that sort of hand-built vibe, except for the pool. That doesn't obviously look hand-built. This sort of hand-built vibe, like someone's just put some stairs in here, put up a fence, call it a day. So we have this little sort of rickety shack on top. I was going to make it like modern, but it's like, it doesn't fit. It just didn't feel like it fit. Though you will notice that some of the walls do have that plaster, like sort of blank texture. Just so it's not all brown and all wood. Now, some of the layout that I'm doing now, it is changed in the end, but not on camera, because I make sure, especially with these tiny house builds, to test out everything and make sure every item works, because that's kind of important. If it doesn't work, then what's the point of downloading or playing with it, right? So I tested it out. The sink and the toilet and that I had to shuffle them around a little bit to make them work. It works in the end, no problem. It's just like a slight bit different. If you download it and have a look, you'll see. And a similar thing with the kitchen, which we'll build in a bit. So we have that little bathroom there, the 2x2, everything functional. The bedroom here, well, the bed nook, which I thought was quite a nice little solution to do it here, was just to get the 2x2, have the bed sort of stick out a little bit, have a curtain just for a bit of privacy, so you could just like close it off if you wanted. If you wanted a nice little cocoon to stay in. And then we have the rest of the 3x4 area for, you know, the kitchen, living, entertainment, study, all that kind of stuff. I think the only, I guess, quote, essential, unquote, item that we don't, it's not really essential though, it's like a bookcase. There's no bookcase in this place, and I only just thought of that now. But I'm fairly sure I have everything we need, because you can go to the toilet, you can have a shower, you can go to sleep, you can have fun, because we have a TV and a computer, and we have the full kitchen, so you can get your food up. What am I forgetting? Is there something I'm forgetting? Like, that's all the stuff you need to live, right? I don't think there's anything else. I'm not sure. Anyway, if I forgot something, I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments. But I think it's all right. So the kitchen was actually an interesting one to try and get to work. So I moved the bed to the other side, and then I was able to get, because the problem was there's actually quite a lot of windows in this build, which poses an issue of trying to get a fridge in that doesn't block a window. Because if it blocks a window, it looks a bit weird. If I remove a window from the outside or change it, it didn't look as nice. So in the end, I was able to get the this little 3x1 kitchen up and running. So we have the stove and the fridge. There is no sink in the kitchen or dishwasher, but you can use, and they do use a sink in the bathroom to wash up. So, because in tiny builds like this, you don't really have a lot of spare space to do multiple sinks and dishwashers and all that. I mean, we could have done a dishwasher. The only reason I didn't is I like the cabinet, the look of the cabinets, so I didn't want to put a dishwasher there and remove all of the cabinets. So I used the little trick, the move objects on trick, to place that TV in a spot you wouldn't normally be able to. If you're wondering how to do that, I've got a tutorial on it. I think it's... I spoke about this in the build that I did yesterday. It was like place items on counters anywhere or something. Place items on counters anywhere, Sims 4. That's not what it was called, but I assume if I search that. Here we go. Yeah, freely place items on tables. The Sims 4 tutorial number 17, freely place items on tables, is in the thumbnail. Then the actual title says desks. Don't know why the thumbnail and title are different. I don't know why I did that, but whatever. So that's a little handy little trick if you want to place stuff on a counter or on a desk in a different spot. That's what I did with that TV. So I was able to get it on the side, and just save a little bit of space. And then you did see I sort of put the computer over the top of it just so it could all work. And now I thought, we should probably decorate the little space a bit more because there wasn't much going on. So we got a mirror, which I realized, oh, actually, no, we have one in the bathroom. Never mind. We have a mirror. We're fine. Just some basic decorations, nothing too outlandish, because it is a really small space, because the more stuff you put in, obviously the more cramped it's going to be. So the bin and the end table that was next to the sofa, that also changes in the final build just because it didn't work, so I had to change it around a little bit. But now, nighttime, getting some lights in, because we need to make the outside look good. I think the real feature, apart from the amazingly compact home, which is a feature in itself, a nice 5x4 build. Ooh, tiny homes, awesome. Obviously, the main feature of this build is the cliff, right? And the fact that it's on like a mountain. So we want it to look good. Day or night, rain or shine. Oh, there's no season, so shine or night with moonlight shine. We want it to look good, so make sure to get some lights in there and just detailing it up a little bit. Oh, look at that, it's beautiful. I really like the decking area. I don't know, it's simple, but I think it really works. And it's kind of have like an infinity pool as well, because there's no fence on part of it, where so you can swim up right up to the edge and look out of your stinky little infinity pool. So out here on the balcony or on the decking, we're just getting a nice little entertaining space with a dining table, a barbecue, and just a couple of benches here and there. I also get in a yoga mat in case you want to do some yoga. I don't know. Yoga mat to meditate on. Yeah, good. You could, I guess. But yeah, just some simple sort of outdoor items. We've got the swimming pool, have a barbecue, have a good old fry up or a weenie roast if you want. Could be quite good. And then just doing some simple landscaping around the build as well. I mean, it's kind of weird. I would probably suggest placing this build somewhere else, because in the game save that I build houses in, I just build them in whatever lot they fit on. I don't really look at the surrounding area. I mean, this is in the middle of Willow Creek suburban area. This doesn't exactly fit in with the scenery, so it might be better suited if you put it in Granite Falls or even maybe Oasis Springs, but the color of the rocks are different there, so you'd probably have to change the color of it a little bit. Or it might even... No, it's not going to work in San Myshuno. Definitely not. Probably Granite Falls would be the best place to put it. But this is just where I built it. That's the only thing. I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to put in there. And then it turned out, you know what? Putting a yoga mat in. That is exactly what I'm going to do. Blip, blip. There it is. Nice. So you could just sit there. Like, that'd be a really nice place to do yoga. You get to look out over the edge. Got a pool next to you, so after you've done, you can just dive in, go for a little swim, cool off. Oh, man, I'm really happy with this. This was just a fun build. Something different. And I think it has a lot of potential to go a lot further. This is just me exploring the initial idea. Like, the idea of building a house on a mountain, or building our own mountain, right? This is just the initial idea. I think it could use a revisit. It definitely could. No, I don't know when. It might be tomorrow. It might be in 5 years' time. I couldn't tell you. But I can tell you that I would like to try and do another thing like this. And also more tiny builds, because tiny builds are pretty good. Also, just low-key shout out to my 4x4 tiny build that got over 1 million views today. Sounds pretty good. Although if you're watching in the future, it probably has more. But anyway, yeah. So people like tiny builds, and people like interesting builds, I guess, with mountains and that. I love those logs, like the birch trees that are holding it up. Like I don't know, I really like the look of that. I think that works super well. So obviously here are the screenshots. House on a mountain. Mountain is really a loose term here. It's like, it's not really a mountain. It's like, I guess, a rock. It's a house on a rock. But that doesn't sound as attractive as house on a mountain, does it? So there's the outdoor entertaining area. Oh, with the waterfall as well. Because that guy asked for a waterfall and I put it in. Put it in there just for him. So there's the main living space. Yes, it is a bit drab, but I think it goes with all the scenery. Like, it's supposed to look like this, and I think I pulled it off quite well. We got a bit of color here and there. You can see that the bathroom changed a little bit there, and you can see the different end table and bin. It is all functional. Everything works. Again, actually not again, for the first time, if you want to download this, there is a link in the description down below. You can click on that, or you can search for hashtag the Sim Supply or the Sim Supply on Origin or on the gallery to find it. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, because I definitely want to do something else like this in the future, or maybe a larger one, really a larger house on a mountain, right? That'd be pretty cool. And see how it goes. It could be good, it could be bad, I don't know. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time, and have an awesome day.